So I wanted to ask you about the origin of Valiant Comics.
So the origin of Valiant Comics. Well, back in the 90s, Jim Shooter was a man who wanted to essentially recreate his success at Marvel, so he created Valiant Comics. They were a huge success back in the 90s, and eventually they were bought out by Acclaim Comics, who eventually went bankrupt. During that period, a young man named Dinesh Shamdasani was a huge fan of Valiant, and when he had the opportunity to buy the company, he put together a team and did. And we brought it back in 2012 and became a top 10 publisher inside of 2 years.
Wasn't he in college or something, or what was that story?
No, he had actually graduated from film school and was working in film at the time. Yeah. Yeah.
And why is Valiant different than Marvel and DC?
Why is Valiant different than Marvel and DC? Well, I would say Valiant is the number 3 superhero universe in size and popularity compared to Marvel and DC. I would say the biggest difference, though, is that we do our very best to make sure that it's a cohesive universe that is also accessible by anyone walking in for the first time. You don't have to have 40 years worth of Batman experience to understand what's going on. You can read the entire line. We're committed to keeping 9 titles on the shelf at all times so that you can take all of those in any given month. And we have the best writers and creators working on our book. We have brought in the best talent. We've got Matt Kent and Clayton Crane working on Rye. We just announced we have Jeff Lemire, Matt Kent, and Paulo Rivera doing The Valiant. Joshua Dysart writing Harbinger has, I think, possibly one of the greatest superhero books of all of the last 20 years. I would say that there is some amazing work coming out of Valiant right now, and it's all very accessible. You can come in for the first time and not need to go to Wikipedia first.
I really appreciate the thought that goes into every little detail.
Yeah, we are a group of very passionate individuals who have all been in comics for a long time and know what all the little details are. One of the things that you get with experience is to know where you can make things go from good to great. And I think we really do a great job on all levels of making sure we hit all those little places, or at least covering up when we don't.
So who is X-O Manowar?
X-O Manowar is a man named Auric, who was a Visigoth in the 5th century. His entire life centered around fighting off the Roman horde who was trying to take over his homeland. During one particular battle, which is historically accurate, he was abducted by aliens, which we say is also historically accurate, and taken aboard their ship as a slave. In order for him to escape from that ship, he had to steal their most powerful weapon, which was this suit of armor that allows him to many wonderful powers and abilities, and use that to escape and come back to Earth, only to find out it was present-day Earth. Through time dilation and a number of things. He lands here and is now a man out of time. He's a man from the past with a weapon of the future here in our present.
And when are we going to see that on the silver screen?
Well, you know what? You will see that and every other Valiant movie coming when we get it right. We have the same standard for our movies that we do for our comics. As we're not going to release them to the public. We're not going to release them to studios to be produced. We control our own development and everything. We want to make sure that everything is right before it goes before our audience. Once again, going back to those details, we want to make sure that they are the right time and the right place.
So you're not going to give us a Daredevil, is that what you're saying?
I liked Daredevil.
And you're not going to sell...
I'm not the film guy, so I can say I liked Daredevil.
You're not going to sell Mutant and X-Men to another company? You're going to keep it all in-house?
No, we are keeping everything in-house. Well, as I said, Dinesh came out of the film world and has a lot of those experiences and abilities and has used them to kind of build something spectacular on the film side. That you won't really see that payoff until they start coming out, but when they do, it's going to be awesome.
So a lot of the trend is moving towards make it like Guardians of the Galaxy, action comedy like Indiana Jones, PG-13.
I would say that we already do that really well. I would say that we do comedy better than anybody else on the shelves right now. Both Quantum and Woody and Archer and Armstrong are as much comedy as they are action. And in both places, I mean, we have really, really talented writers who know how to get a laugh, are working. And I say that, that is going to transition into the film side as well. We're already working on a lot of really great scripts that are really, really funny. So yeah, I would say that has always been part of our goal. It's nice that Guardians of the Galaxy has prepared everybody for what is going to be awesome about Valiant. Maybe the audience wasn't ready for us yet. Maybe they needed that.
So someone who's never read anything from Valiant, where should they start?
Well, you should start right here, right now, today. I think it depends on what you're into. We are a superhero universe; it's cohesive, but we also have lots of different genres. So we have the sci-fi book of X-O Manowar. We have the team drama that comes from Harbinger and those characters. We've got, as I said, we've got comedy. We've got a really dark title with Shadow Man. We do try and hit every genre, so there is an intro for you into the universe, no matter where you're coming from. So, I've got my favorites, but everyone does. So that's the beauty.
What are your favorites?
I would say Harbinger is my Quantum and Woody, X-O. I think Archer and Armstrong. At this point now, I'll get into trouble of ranking them for me. I'm not doing that.
What's your favorite part about Valiant?
What is my favorite part about Valiant? I think my favorite part about Valiant is that we put together a team of people that is now drawing in some of the most creative and wonderfully skilled creators in the industry. And I would say that starts from the top. And we've put together something that allows those creators to explore their skills in a way they can't everywhere else.